The man's body begins disappearing right before everyone's eyes. As his skin vanishes, the muscle fibers beneath it are immediately exposed. He gasps in pain as the skin on his entire body completely disappears into thin air. The medical staff rush to save him, but soon his nerves and blood vessels also begin to vanish. At this point, only his white skeleton remains. But before anyone can even react, his bones begin disappearing as well. Everyone in the room is left completely stunned by the horrifying sight. Soon, the man's heart rate and blood pressure gradually return to normal. This means the invisibility experiment has succeeded, but the scientists don't yet realize that this experiment will come at a terrible price. In the middle of the night, Xiaomei's door slowly opens, and an invisible figure sneaks into her room. Fortunately, she wakes up just in time. When she sees the door open, she immediately becomes suspicious. She checks the surveillance cameras and notices that the man is missing from his room. Where could he be? But when the camera angle changes again, he suddenly appears to be back in his room. The next day, Xiaomei tells her colleagues what happened, but everyone thinks she was simply imagining things in her sleep. From that moment on, the man becomes even more reckless. He begins secretly harassing his female colleagues, and his disturbing behavior leaves everyone in the laboratory uncomfortable. He even uses thermal imaging equipment to spy on his female colleagues when they are in private areas. His behavior becomes more and more outrageous. The team finally agrees that they need to end the experiment early. If they allow things to continue like this, it could lead to a serious disaster. So they inject the blue reversal drug into his body. The next second, his heart, liver, spleen, and kidneys gradually begin to reappear. He collapses onto the bed and soon becomes invisible again. This time, in order to stop him from causing more trouble, the scientists create a special artificial skin for him to wear, but the disguise does not bring him any peace of mind. Instead, it makes him even more frustrated. He is trapped inside the laboratory with no freedom, while also suffering from all kinds of painful side effects from the potion. One day, his anger finally explodes. While nobody is around, he secretly sneaks back to his old neighborhood. There he sees a young woman living alone in the apartment across from his house. Instantly, he begins having evil thoughts. He quietly removes the artificial skin from his body and makes his way to the woman's door. The woman looks through the peephole, but she cannot see anyone outside. Confused, she bravely opens the door to see what is happening. But the hallway is completely empty. What she doesn't know is that the invisible man has already taken the opportunity to sneak into her apartment. While she is standing in front of the mirror, something strange suddenly happens. The mirror begins to move. The next second, the invisible man attacks her. Before she can react, it is already over. 1 minute later, he casually returns to the laboratory. When the woman asks why he went out alone, he doesn't care what anyone thinks, and simply says that he was just going for a walk. After that, he becomes crazier and crazier, secretly going out every night while his colleagues have no idea what he is doing. Until one day, the woman finally discovers the truth. The surveillance footage has been tampered with. Now everything starts making sense. Thinking about the mysterious deaths and disappearances that have happened nearby in recent days, they realize that the invisible man is obviously responsible. The situation is now completely out of control. After discussing it, everyone decides to report him to their boss and shut down the project. But they don't know that the invisible man has been inside the laboratory, secretly listening to their entire plan. He immediately goes to the boss's house. The boss suddenly discovers that his phone line has been cut. He goes outside to check what is happening, but he doesn't realize that the invisible man is waiting for him. The man attacks him and forces him into the water. He grabs the boss by the throat and holds him underwater until he finally dies. Soon, everyone learns about the boss's death, and it is obvious who was responsible. The woman and her male colleague decide to leave the laboratory and get help, but they soon discover that the invisible man has stolen the laboratory's access codes. Now everyone is trapped inside. He has also cut the phone lines,